when I was a Christian, there's something that used to bother me a lot. In fact, I don't really think that it's right for me to say I was ever a Christian, because I was questioning a lot of things even when I was going to church. I'll be at church with my Christian friends asking them, how sure are we that the Bible was inspired by God? I mean, we know that people lie, we know that people make things up. So how sure are we that the Bible was inspired by God? It's very possible that, people just wanted to control other people and they used the Bible. Because if you say that God sent you to do something, people are most likely to believe you than if you say, well, I feel like this is what we must do. You see, so maybe people just used God to accomplish their missions, That is very possible. And because we want to believe in a higher power, we just, believe them. And that's, how Bibles were invented. Anyway, when I was still going to church, there was something that used to bother me a lot. And it bothers me till this day. Till this day. I love the till this day meme. I think it was Deontay Wilder, right? Saying till this day. I don't know what he was talking about, but I saw like a video clip of someone that looked like him saying till this day. Till this day. Christians will give testimonies. And that's when I would realize that something isn't quite right. A Christian will stand in front of people who are poor and talk about all the great things that God has done for them. You find that this person was like making 20K a month, standing in front of people who don't have jobs, people who are making less than 1,000 a month, and say, God has helped me. God has blessed me. He gave me a new position. I've prayed so hard for this position and He gave it to me. Now I'm like earning 30K. Now I can just get, what I mean? Stand in front of people and brag like a rapper would, In front of people who got nothing. You stand in front of them and brag. Even though it didn't really seem like they were bragging, but that's exactly what they were doing. Like, well, I just want to show people that, God can do this, God can do that. No, you're just fucking bragging in front of people. That's what you're doing. You're bragging. Sometimes they would say, I was involved in a car accident that claimed the lives of 6 people. I'm the only survivor. So that means, God is powerful. God is... I'm like, what? 6 people died. Sometimes they'll just exaggerate their stories. They'll try to make God look so good that they would lie. They'll ignore all the bad things that have happened in their lives. A woman might suffer from breast cancer and they cut one of her breasts off and they say, I still got one of my breasts. It's like we ignore all the horrible things that are happening to Christians. It's not like horrible things are only happening to atheists. It's not like horrible things are only happening to Muslims. It's not like horrible things are only happening to the Jews. No. Horrible things are happening to everyone. It's like no one is safe. I would always feel bad when I'd see someone someone bragging about their success in front of people who have nothing. People are also praying. It's not like these people, when are not praying, it's not like these people don't have faith. They do. So God just favored you. That's like if your dad had many children and he was doing a lot for you, but he wasn't doing anything for his other kids. And you stood in front of your siblings and say, my dad is doing this for me. My dad is good because he's doing this for me. He's doing this. What about the other kids? Don't they deserve what you have? What he gave you? So that would make me think. I was like, nah, man, something isn't right. And I was kind of like poor too, like not that poor, but yeah, So it's like, nah, I mean, there's something wrong. Like this doesn't feel right. I don't think this will really inspire intelligent people to, become like real Christians. That will make us judge. That will actually make us judge. Because Christianity, was never really about material things. Like, oh, can achieve this and that, blah, 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 and that's not how it should be sold to us. Like, oh, you must, if you believe in God, God is going to do this for you, God is going to do that for you. I mean, we're told that this world is controlled by the devil. He has power. He is the one that owns everything. So, and Jesus didn't even want this world. I mean, the devil tried to give him this world and the nigga was like, no. So you're like, why are you winning in this world like that? Why are you winning like that if really the devil runs shit here? Maybe you're working for him. Isn't that possible? I mean, why would they allow you to win? Maybe he sees that you're not really leading people anywhere. But yeah, that used to bother me a lot. Because these people wouldn't even be helping other people. I was like, no, these people are just hypocrites, man. You see, they're only Christians because, Christianity allows them to be these selfish people that they really are. You see? It allows them to stand in front of people and brag. No, it allows them to shine like that. And also you find that people who have good jobs are given good positions. I always felt like that was weird. I find that people who are broke, who have nothing, are not given good positions. People who have nothing would just be ushers, clean toilets, stuff like that, But people who have money are the ones that will be given good positions. Like, nah, man, something isn't quite right. You might say, well, or people who have money, maybe because they're educated, so they're given, like, nah, it has nothing to do with that. There are a lot of people who can do things even if they do not have money. Like, it had everything to do with the fact that it's about power. Like church is a business. You get what I'm saying? So if you have a lot of power, if you have a lot of influence, they're going to put you on top. If you have things, if you can help the church financially, they'll put you on top. You see? If you give offerings, if you pay tithe, they're going to put you on top. If you are doing nothing for the church, they're not going to, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're not doing anything because you don't have anything. So I was like, nah, man, I don't belong here. Like, I don't belong in a place full of hypocrites. I want people who are real. People who love one another genuinely. So looking back, I can see that I was never a Christian. Because I've always had doubts, and there were a lot of things that I was saying that I felt weren't right. I would say that people are not as honest as they need to be. They're not honest with themselves. They pick and choose what to believe and what not to believe. Now, I was having a conversation with this other guy who's a Christian. He's a brother, brother in church, those kind of Christians, very respected Christians. I was having a conversation with him, and I was telling him that one of my biggest problems with Christianity is that it's more like a cult. We force people to believe in something that doesn't make sense, something that goes against logic. And if they don't believe it, we feel like they are bad or they are sinners, which is a huge problem, especially considering the fact that belief isn't really a choice. This is something that's very important for people to get. Belief is not a choice. You cannot choose to believe something. It doesn't work that way. You cannot wake up in the morning and choose to believe that I can fly. Unless you had mental issues, you wouldn't be able to convince yourself that I can fly. You see, it doesn't work that way. You'll be lying to yourself, and you will know that you'll be lying to yourself. You know that you're faking your belief. You see? You believe something when you're convinced it is true. You're not just wake up and believe that the moon doesn't exist. Well, you see that it is there, so how do you make yourself believe that the moon doesn't exist? You cannot just wake up and believe that God doesn't exist if you believe that He does exist. You see? You can't brainwash yourself. But Christians will force people to brainwash themselves. No, you're so wrong. You're a sinner. You're going to go to hell if you don't believe that Jesus died for your sins. You're like, what? Really? Hell? Try to explain to him, like, look at it this way, bro. A person is born into a world that they do not understand, in a world that they didn't even ask to be born into, in a world where people are being manipulated, they're being lied to, the truth isn't obvious. Isn't it important that that person tries to find out what the truth is without getting manipulated or without getting emotionally blackmailed? Remember, there are many religions in the world. And there are people who believe that these religions are true. What is this? African people would say something like this is associated with witchcraft. There are many religions in the world, and people who follow these religions believe that these religions are true. So, how do we find out what the truth is? Do we find out what the truth is by allowing ourselves to be indoctrinated? Because if that's how we find out what the truth is, we'll never really find out what the truth is. If that's because think about it. Think of it this way. If I was born in a country where most people are Muslims, I'll become a Muslim by default because I would have allowed myself to be indoctrinated by Muslims. So that's not the way to truth when you really think about it. The only way to truth is to question everything. You must get to a point where you have doubts. You mustn't just have blind faith, like, oh, this is what is true, and then people giving you testimonies, and you're like, oh yeah, that means that it is true, because God has done this for these people, God has done that for these people. It's not necessarily about what God does for people. It has to do with what is really true, not what people say God has done for them. I understand that people are suffering in this world, but if this is all temporary, who cares if we suffer? If really there's a place better than this, and this was just another trap that we just fell into, and we just need Jesus to help us, free ourselves. But to find out if Christianity itself is true, we'll need to think. We wouldn't just need to have faith, because Christianity itself could be another trap. You see the problem? Christianity itself could be another trap. You might find that once you start believing in Christianity, well, you are making a deal with certain spirits that are going to control you, that are going to control how you view reality in this world, that are going to take control of your mind. Who knows? I mean, I do see people getting possessed by, so-called demons and different churches. That doesn't happen to me, but it does happen to some people. I used to think that these people were faking, although there are some people who fake it, I know, but not everyone is faking. It's like something is definitely happening. Something that we don't quite understand is definitely happening. I'm not really sure how all of that works, but something is definitely happening. Something is definitely happening. And it doesn't seem to be something good. You see? That's another thing that we must realize. It doesn't seem like something that is good. It doesn't seem like something you would want to see happening to you. You wouldn't want to fall down and start rolling around. Like, something about that isn't right. Like, would you want to fall and start rolling around and start saying some things that don't make sense? No, you wouldn't want that to happen to you. It seems like these people become possessed by spirits that want to manipulate others, like, this person was possessed. Because here's something that I've realized. You tell me what you think. If you realize that people who get possessed by demons, when they are possessed, they don't say things that seem to be coming from something intelligent. It's like demons are they're so stupid, they're so dumb. They be saying things that are just retarded. Oh, I don't want this person to make it. Yeah, I don't want her brothers to make it. I don't want their mothers. Like, that's all they'll be saying. But like, what the fuck? Like, there isn't anything intelligent that's coming out of this person's mouth. Whatever possesses them is retarded. And they want to manipulate who? No, I can never be possessed by these things. How will they possess me? I'm on another level. But that's something very important to get. I think what is happening is that these spirits want to manipulate other people that they cannot possess. You see? So you believe that, okay, these people get possessed, I can get possessed too, and then you start, sacrificing yourself to these demons. Be like, well, I'm afraid that I might get possessed too. So, because when you think about it, it's not like these people really get exorcised. See, that doesn't really happen. So, like, next time when they go to church, the same thing doesn't happen. No, it will still happen. When they pray for them, they will still fall down and start rolling around and say the same shit. So you're like, nah, something isn't right. No one really gets exercised in the end. It seems like an act, you know. That is why some people think that it's all an act. These people are faking. These people are actors. Not quite. Like, they do really get possessed. I have spoken to a lot of people, especially women that I know are usually honest. Now ask them, yo, have you ever been possessed? Then they will tell me that, yeah, I have been possessed before. And I'll ask them, how does it feel? Even guys, I remember I had a conversation with this guy who got possessed by a demon. He went to this other church. They prayed for him. He fell down and started saying some shit. So me being me, I had to ask him because we were very close. But when that happened, we weren't close. But I knew that we were still going to communicate. So we became close again. And I asked him, yo, my nigga, what was happening? And he explained everything to me. He told me that, yo, everything went black. It's like he wasn't really there anymore. And then when he woke up, they asked him if he remembered what he was saying, and he didn't remember what he was saying. So of course something is definitely going on. You mustn't be so ignorant. Even if you believe in evolution, you mustn't be so ignorant. Like, nah, they're just acting. It gets to a point where you are just like, religious people, because you're not open-minded. You don't allow yourself to see everything. You just, choose what to believe. Like, nah, that cannot possibly be true. Here's what I think is true. It's much better to keep an open mind if you want to understand what is really going on. It's obvious that there are some forces that are trying to manipulate us, that are trying to enslave humanity, and we're being manipulated in so many different ways. Some people ask me if I believe in witchcraft. Like, oh, do you think witchcraft is real? Like, not really. Not really. What I believe is that there are some beings that are working behind the scenes to make things happen so that we'll believe certain things. I think the only way that they can enslave us is by manipulating us. You see, that is why they do give us a choice. Like, for an example, to become a Christian, you're not like really forced 100% like that. Like, yo, be a Christian, whatever. Like, they really do give you a choice, but they manipulate you. But they do give you a choice, right? They do give you a choice. You're not really forced. They just manipulate you, and that's why it's really important for you to be intellectually honest and to be brave, so that when people are trying to manipulate you, you are able to say that they are trying to manipulate me, than just opening up to things. Opening yourself up to things that you don't even understand. I do think that people do open themselves up to spirits, and these spirits possess them. I've communicated with a lot of people that used to be intelligent before they became Christians, and I'll talk to them now and I'll be like, I used to be this and that until I found Jesus. Jesus loves me. Jesus cares about me. You should look for Jesus. You're like, huh? Is this you, bro? Do you not, like, it's like you went from here to here intellectually. my problem isn't what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. This is not how you used to speak. You used to break things down. You wouldn't be speaking like that. You wouldn't be just saying, well, I found Jesus. Just like, no, explain what you really mean when you say that you found Jesus. What do you mean? Where did you find him? What does it mean to find Jesus? How did he change your life? How do you know that it was him? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Show me that you still can think. Show me that you're still you. Show me that you're not just brainwashed or possessed by some spirit. I want to know that you're still there, bro. I want to know that you're still there. Because once people become Christians, it's like they start to lose their sanity. They're no longer themselves. And you can say that they're no longer themselves, but it's not like they become better. You know? At least if they become better, you'd be like, yo, damn, dude, I want to become a Christian too, because now you're a superhuman, bro. You were intelligent, I always knew you were intelligent, but now you're next level. Nah. They become worse. And that's really scary. So it's like they get possessed by some spirits, and this spirit, because these spirits are not very intelligent, just like I was telling you, that when people are possessed, they start saying things that you can see that are not coming from something really intelligent. So because these spirits are not intelligent, they have to lower their vibrations in order to allow these spirits to possess them. You see? Because like the way that intelligence is more like a frequency. Like when you're vibrating at a much higher frequency, you're able to see things as they are. When you're vibrating at a lower frequency, you're unable to see things as they are. So these demons, these demons have to lower your frequency so that they will be able to, to control you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to control you because you are vibrating at a much higher frequency. It's not that demons do not try to possess us. They do. They try to possess everyone, but some of you are vibrating at much higher frequencies. You see? That's why they can't possess you. You are vibrating at much higher frequencies. So it's not easy for these demons to manipulate you. So they try to use people that they have possessed to manipulate you. That's why you must keep your eyes open the whole time. Listen to what people say to you. Pay attention to what people say to you. You listen. Like, what is this person saying? You don't listen because you think what they are saying is true. You listen in order to figure out if these people are not possessed. If a person is vibrating at very, 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 very low frequencies, like these are people that be doing the most horrible shit in the world, because demons are able to take full control of them. If you are not vibrating at very, very low frequencies, when they try to make you do some horrible things, you'll be like, nah, I can't do this shit. I'm vibrating at a much higher frequency than people who are doing this shit, so I can't. Like, you feel it, that I shouldn't be doing this shit. You see? But when you are vibrating at much lower frequencies, you'll be like, nah, this is the right thing to do. Truth itself is a frequency. That's something that I've realized. Truth is a frequency. That is why you will try to tell some people something that is true and they don't get it. They can't. They're not operating at that frequency. You see? That's why when you tell some people the truth, they get it without you having to over-explain yourself. They just get it. You see? You say something that is true, they get it. They even finish your sentences like they get it. There's some people who tell me that they know what I'm about to say before I say it. Like, they get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're vibrating on the same frequency, so we understand, we understand each other like that. But some people, you tell them the truth, try to show them how things are, and they don't get it. You try your best, you try to use different scenarios, like, look at it this way, they still don't get it. Just realize that they're just not vibrating at a high frequency, so they cannot really understand you. It's not possible for them. For them to understand you, they must reach your level of consciousness. They must start vibrating at the frequency that you're vibrating on. That's when they'll be able to understand you. Okay? You'll be able to understand them because you're already at a high frequency. You see, so you get it because they are vibrating at very low frequencies. You look at them like, okay, I get why they are like this. You'll even be able to explain why they are the way that they are. You see, you'll be able to explain why they are the way that they are. But they won't be able to explain why you're the way that you are. Have you realized, like, they will lie to themselves. They will say something that isn't true, and that they should know isn't true. Like, how does this person not realize that what they're saying is not the truth? Well, they can't understand you, but they must try to understand you because, well, you're not like them, and they must try to figure you out what's going on. They can see that, hey, this person is different, so like, okay, what's going on? So them misunderstanding you is really their best attempt to understand you. They just can't, because they're not vibrating at your frequency. So it's good to try to understand how this reality works, even if, and this is super important, even if we're not really told what the truth is, we need to figure out what the truth is ourselves. You see? By analyzing everything. That's really important. You try to analyze everything. You must recognize patterns too. There's something that I told you this other day about what I know usually happens. I told you that usually when a day starts off bad, something good is going to happen. And the way that I think that happens is there are entities that are feeding from our negative energy. So when a day is bad in the beginning, you're feeding these entities because you're not feeling good, right? You're feeling all these negative emotions, so you're feeding these entities. And once they have enough, they're good. They leave you the fuck alone, and then things change. You see? Things change. Until they come back again and try to, change things in your life. Try to make things that are not good happen so that they will get your energy. They do that in many different ways. You get a call from someone, they say something horrible, because some of these people are possessed. Like, that's how they get energy from high frequency people. It's like they use people who are operating at very low levels of consciousness to manufacture a reality that you're not going to like so that you'll feed them. You see? And that's how I think it works. So that's what I mean when I say you must try to figure out what is going on. Try to recognize patterns. How do things really work in this world? Because these entities are not that intelligent. That's something that you must get. I've never had an intelligent demon. Can you imagine if a pastor prayed for a person and they start saying some intelligent shit? He'll be like, what? But no. Don't say anything intelligent. You just say things that are just basic. Damn. I have flu, man. It's kind of cold though. Christianity is another system of control. That's all that it is. Just like any other religion. You want the truth, don't follow anyone blindly. Just try to figure out what the truth is yourself. If you don't, people are going to use you. We are all selfish here. Yes, there are people who are more selfish than others, but in reality, we are all selfish. We are all, trying to escape suffering, and we use one another. That's how things work in this reality. That's what you must get. So keep on working on yourself and trying to figure out what the truth is yourself, so that people do not lie to you. You see, you don't want people to be lying to you, and you don't want to be believing lies. I mean, you can see that Christians are getting manipulated in all kinds of ways. It's so funny that they are not able to see that, but you see that. I mean, they don't even see when they're being manipulated in a way that is obvious. Like when pastors edit videos to create fake miracles, to convince their audience that they're performing miracles, edit videos, make angels appear in the video, and Christians be thinking, oh yeah, I've said that there were real angels there. Like, what? One thing that I've realized about this reality is that nothing is what it seems, like at all. In the video that I uploaded yesterday, where I was talking about the best way to view reality, the best way to view life, I told you about how dreams seem real, but they ain't. Like, things are not what they seem. That's what you must get. So always try to find out what the truth is, other than just believing what you're saying. Sometimes you torture yourself because you believe what you're saying. You see people acting a certain way, and you're like, oh, these people are just horrible. These people are like, nah, maybe they're being controlled by some forces that you don't understand. And because you don't understand that, you stress. If you are conscious, if you are able to understand what I'm saying, trust me, you are vibrating at a very high frequency, bro. Like, you next level. You're not. It's like. It's like you're not really from here. You're not really like human like that, You're something else. Because you're not supposed to understand what I'm saying to you. I've spoken to a lot of people, and I realize some people just can't understand what I'm really saying to them. But you know what happens when I'm talking to people in general? They listen, and they know that what I'm saying is true, but they don't fully understand it. You see? That's what mostly happened. Like, yeah, they'll know that this guy has some knowledge. Like, this guy, he knows something that I don't know, but I don't quite understand it. And there's some truth. I mean, there are so many people who tell me that, oh, you walk, even when they don't agree with me, because they know that they're like, because they're vibrating at a much lower frequency, the truth that I'm telling them is going to kill them. You see? The truth that I'm telling them is going to kill them. Like, they're not ready for it, because they're vibrating at much lower frequencies. But they can feel it, that this person is actually vibrating at a much higher frequency. And they feel threatened. Sometimes they'll say to them, they'll just say to themselves that, oh, now this person is just This person is an agent of Satan, and a very powerful agent of Satan. That's why I feel the way that I feel when they speak. It's because this person is just a powerful agent of Satan, because what they're saying, it's not what I believe, or like what I've been told. So they have to just be a powerful agent of Satan, but they would still know that you're very powerful. What you're telling them, make them feel uncomfortable. They feel that no, this is something different, and it does make sense, but they'll just tell themselves that you are an agent of Satan. These demons got nothing on you if you start opening your eyes. The problem is that you believe what you see. Like, you believe in the way things happen. Like, you must see when situations are happening in order to make you feel a certain way, so that you'll be able to rise above it. This reminds me of this other scene from South Park. South Park is my favorite TV show ever. That's why I always talk about it. So in this episode of South Park, there was this midget that went to South Park Elementary, and if you know South Park, you'll know what happened. So this midget, I know some people feel like the word midget is offensive, but don't allow yourself to be offended by stupid things, Come on. So this midget went to South Park Elementary, stood in front of the students, and Eric Cartman laughed. He just started laughing. Yeah, he started laughing like crazy. And that midget guy said, "Nah, don't worry. He'll stop laughing. He'll get tired." But he didn't get tired. He just kept on laughing. And then later on, he went to the principal's office and said he wanted to talk to. Damn, my cap flew away. It's probably a snake here. These fucking entities want the snake to bite me or something. Who knows? So yeah, so that midget guy went to the principal's office and said, "Yo, I want that boy Eric Cartman to come here, call him." And they were like, "No," because they know Eric Cartman. But he insisted, and they called him. And as soon as he got into the office, started laughing like crazy and started disrespecting that midget. So that midget was like, "You know what? I want to teach Eric Cartman a lesson." He gathered some of his classmates. They went to play basketball, I think. Yeah. And he told everyone that, when Cartman gets here, we must say something to him. I forgot what they were supposed to say, but something that will offend him. Something about because Eric Cartman is fat. So something about his weight. And they all agree. As soon as he got there, they said something that offended him, and he was so angry. He was so damn angry, until he realized that midget was behind everything, and he started laughing again. So what I'm trying to show you is that you must know how this shit works, how this reality itself is manufactured to make you feel a certain way, so that you don't stress when negative things are happening. Just know how it works and try your best not to feed these things your energy. Try your best. I know how hard it is, but sometimes you will be able to rise above it, you see. So learn from yourself, like, how do I rise above these things? and keep on trying, because that's one of the best ways to free yourself. That's one of the best ways to free yourself. You mustn't allow yourself to be manipulated because you are afraid. I mean, life is scary. Life itself is scary. You're conscious in a world that you don't understand. That's scary, right? And this entity take advantage of that. Like, oh, these humans know nothing. And that's the reason why we know nothing, is because if we knew something, they wouldn't be able to control us. So we're supposed to know nothing. And that's probably because we might actually be more powerful than we think we are. So like, we gotta make sure they know nothing, because if they knew the truth, they'll become very powerful. Like they said, knowledge is power. But like I said, in order to know, you mustn't know. Like, stop thinking that you know. That's the thing. Like I explained in the previous video, that the real problem is that you know. So you don't ever get to know anything because you already know. You see? You just believe what you heard first. I remember there's this other song, just that I forgot. Which song is it? So there's a DJ that remixed the song. The first time I heard that song was like, I had the vision of the DJ, the vision that the DJ is remixed. So I thought, well, that song was actually made by that DJ. While the truth was that it was made by someone else and the DJ remixed it. That's how the human mind works. It's like when someone tells you, like the first story you hear, you believe it. You see? That's how you've been programmed. The first thing you hear, you just believe it to be true. The first religion they tell you is true becomes the true religion to you, because that's the first religion. Like, you know what I mean? When you still know nothing and someone tells you something, you just believe it because you know nothing about it. If they tell you that your friend stole money, you just believe that. If someone else tell you that, they don't even tell you that it's not your friend that stole money, but say someone else stole money, you just think it's your friend that stole money. You be like, no, it's my friend that actually stole money. You see, you've already believed the first story that you heard. You see, so you're not open to what's really possible. Let me show you how how bad this is. So in South Africa, there's what we call load shedding, where they will cut the power for a certain period of time. So this other day, I was supposed to work on something. When I checked on the schedule that they gave us, it showed that the power was supposed to be off from 11 until 1. But they didn't cut the power out, right? I went to my room, there was electricity. I didn't even notice that there was electricity, bruh. I just sat there waiting for the electricity to come back. Yeah, understand how retarded that is. You see how the human brain works? I'm sitting there waiting for the electricity to come back while the electricity is there. You see? That's how the human brain works. My brain already believed that, well, the electricity wasn't there. So that's the thing. It believed the first thing that it believed. Like, it didn't want to change. That's the thing. So that's how the human brain works. So that's what I'm saying. Stop thinking that you know. Try to forget everything that you think you know and try to relearn. Not necessarily relearn, but try to learn what is going on, because what you've been told is bullshit. Alright? Everything is bullshit. So you need to try to figure out what's going on. We're living in a world where we're being deceived in so many different ways. So of course, they're not gonna give you the truth like that. You yourself have to figure out what the truth is. You see? The truth is not gonna be given to you like that. It's not like you're born in this world and they come to you and like, okay, here's the truth. This world was created as a prison planet by aliens, and here's how you get out. You must stop caring what other people think. You must not believing in any religion. You must be real. You must be honest. You must speak your truth, and that's gonna make you vibrate at a very high frequency, and that's how you free yourself. No one is gonna, some people are gonna tell you that, but these ain't people that are going to be given large platforms, you see. It is obvious that the world is evil, bruh. I don't think anyone in their right mind would try to debate that. What would you say? We are all able to see that something isn't right. Doesn't matter what religion you believe in. You are able to see that something isn't right. Everyone is able to see that something isn't right. It's just that they believe that there are certain things that they must do to free themselves. Like we don't believe in the same things. We don't believe in the same savior. Let me put it that way. We all know that the world isn't right, but we don't believe in the same savior. You see, Christians will say Jesus is going to save you. Muslims will say Allah will save you. Buddhists will say, wait, what do Buddhists say? You must meditate your way out of this. It's a dog. So people know that something isn't right, but they just think that they can save themselves by believing in a religion, stuff like that. They don't realize that, well, the better thing to do is to not have children. That's very important. You make sure that you don't put anyone else into this trap. That's a very logical thing to consider when you really think about it. You realize that it's a trap. We are all in a trap. So why do I trap more people here? For what reason? And how do I justify that? So I know that I'm in a trap, but I decide that no, I'm gonna trap more people here. For what? I'm gonna trap more people here so that they will be saved. Saved from what? The trap? It's like putting people in jail. When you are in jail, bringing more people in jail when you're in jail and say they will be saved, they will be freed. Why do we put them in jail in the first place if they don't deserve to be in jail? You must just realize that, well, this is not working, this is not good, and it will never be good. It will never work. It wasn't meant to work, and yeah, do the right thing. Make sure you don't bring more innocent people here. Make sure that you don't trap more, because you may know that this is a trap, don't we? It's a trap, obviously. It's like a maze, trying to find your way out. And you're trying to find a way to free yourself. Some people think, oh, Jesus is gonna free us, Allah is gonna, what I mean? But you're trying to find your way out. You know that this place is not right. So you work your way out of the maze. You try to work your way out of the maze. And there are so many traps in this maze. One of the traps is religion. That's why I say I was never a Christian, because I wasn't fully convinced. I only believed in Christianity because, well, my parents are Christian, my grandparents are Christian, so I was like, yeah, these are the people that I'm supposed to trust. So, I'm supposed to believe what they believe. But I started to notice some holes in the Bible. I was like, nah, something isn't right. Now I'll ask these people, because I would expect them to give me good answers, and I realized, no, they don't know anything. They don't know anything, so why should I trust them? Maybe I should trust myself because I'm actually doing the right thing. Maybe I should trust myself because I am actually doing the right thing. I am asking myself really important questions that are actually necessary. I'm not just believing what I'm told. I'm trying to figure out if what I'm told is the truth. Which is something that each and every person should do. But if you are going to genuinely try to figure out what's going on, your journey is not going to be easy. You see, your journey is not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard, because not everyone is trying to find out what the truth is. They're in a trap. It's like they've given up. Like, now you never figure out what the truth is, so let's just try to do what works. And yeah, but if you have not given up, keep on trying to figure out what the truth is. Maybe you'll be able to save yourself. I don't think that the trap ends here, like in this reality. I think there are other realities out there where, consciousness can get trapped. So you need to be very conscious. And it starts here. So that you won't be manipulated. If you're not religious, you've been able to skip some traps, but there are more traps that you gotta skip, because the truth isn't obvious. If you're not in New Age spirituality, if you realize that New Age spirituality is another system of control, you've managed to skip another trap. But there's still more traps to skip. Maybe you need to reach a point where you realize that all of this is an illusion, and it's always been. That is the final truth. Thank you.